We hear about neural networks in the news all the time, but what actually are they? To start, we need to answer a question about ourselves as humans. How do our brains work? Inside our heads, we have millions and millions of tiny cells called neurons. A neuron is composed of dendrites, a cell body, and axons. Neurons fire in the brain by passing chemical signals between one another. Our network of neurons work in concert, passing around messages that make sense of the world and bring our brains to life. In the same way, we can mimic this network structure of our brains inside a computer. Instead of neurons, we have simple nodes. And instead of dendrites and axons that pass chemical signals around, we have connections that pass numbers around. These numbers signify activations. But what's an activation? If this electrical signal reaches a high enough level, passing what's called a threshold potential, the neuron releases a chemical signal to the dendrites of the next neuron. It only passes these chemicals if a high enough electrical activation is reached. Otherwise, the message is discontinued. Our computer's neural network mimics these activations using numbers. A big number, passed from one node to the next, signifies a large activation, while a small number signifies a minor one. Working in concert, all these numbers are multiplied, added, and transformed to produce a final output that answers some specific question for us. Our brains are very special objects because they have tons and tons of these networks that can perform a great many number of tasks. In comparison, the neural networks of a computer can only perform a single, specific task, such as telling me how tall I might get given the height of my parents. At the end of the day, a neural network is just an attempt at copying the structure of our magical brains. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, even from a computer.